So if you eat whole foods, if you're doing most of your grocery shopping in the produce section and you're eating lean protein, grass fed, that has not been given hormones or antibiotics, and you're eating healthy vegetables and fruits and nuts, you're doing a great job. But when you start adding things that come out of a box or a bag in all those other aisles, then you're really polluting yourself because there's a lot of hidden ingredients. And one of those things.
Welcome to Thriving with Diabetes, the podcast where we empower people with type 2 diabetes. I am your host, Ghamdan, a holistic wellness coach, helping people overcome the struggles they face with type 2 diabetes. I believe that with the correct knowledge, mindset, and support, you can manage your health condition effectively and lead a fulfilling life. Today, we are joined by two special guests, Dr. Lisa and Wendy. Dr. Lisa is a board certified doctor of natural medicine, brings expertise in holistic wellness and energy healing. With a mission to transform healthcare, she helps people to take control of their health. Wendy, an expert in healthcare with various backgrounds, serves as the managing partner at Pure Med Global. Her passion for animals drives her dedication to changing the wellness market. Together, Dr. Lisa and Wendy will share insights and practical tips for navigating diabetes with resilience, covering mindset and holistic wellness approaches. Tune in for valuable strategies to improve your health condition. Learning about our guests' unique perspectives and experiences is always inspiring. So without further ado, I will hand it over to Dr. Lisa and Wendy to introduce themselves. Lisa and Wendy, welcome to Thriving with Diabetes podcast.
Thank you so much for having us, Ghamdan. We're really excited to be here. Wendy and I are the founders of Code Health, a bioenergetic therapeutic product company. And one of the things that really resonates with us and with what we're here to talk about today is mindset and how to have a healthy mindset and how to be consistent with that.
Thank you so much. We're honored to be on this podcast, and we look forward to speaking with you about how Code products can work with your guests and their lifestyle. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you for sharing a little bit about you, but if you can tell our viewers and listeners what led you to your current work or the current position where you had to found Code, and what is Code?
Okay, so it was 2021 and there was a global pandemic. And like many people, I too caught that world famous virus. And I'm a very healthy person, very holistic, always have been. I'm a yoga teacher. I've done all kinds of energy healing, intuitive, spiritual healing, spiritual training. And when I caught that virus, I was quite surprised. But fortunately, my father lived next door to the inventor of these molecular formulas that were undergoing clinical research, placebo-controlled studies, and this particular formula was in stage 2 of the clinical trials for FDA approval. And my father said, if you get sick, Lisa, call me. I'll overnight you these drops, and you just follow the instructions, just how they're supposed to be taken. So I called my father and I said, okay, Dad, I'm really sick. He's like, okay, I'm sending the drops. He overnights the drops, and literally 2 days into taking the drops, and there's a very, very specific protocol with this antivirus formula. 2 days later, my fever that was 104 was gone. And 2 days later, I got taste and smell back. So a year goes by. We'll fast forward and make the long story short. A year goes by, and I go up to New York to visit my father, and I say, Dad, can you bring me by to see Dr. McMichael? I want him to put my face with my name and really thank him for saving my life. And every time I say that, I well up inside because I really do credit this product for saving my life. So we showed up unannounced at his door, and he answered, and he came outside. And I was just finishing up my PhD in natural medicine, and I thought my life was going in a completely different direction. And I said to him, why is this not readily available for every human being in the world right now? Like, this product saved my life, and nobody knows about it. How can I help you bring this to the world? And he didn't really have a good answer, so he connected me with his business partners. And I spent the whole first conference call that we had with the business partners talking about Wendy, because I'm more of the science, and just like Dr. McMichael, and I needed somebody that could handle the business aspect of it. So Wendy, being one of my best friends, and who I trust implicitly, I called her and I said, Wendy, I've got this product. It literally saved my life. And Wendy actually had an opportunity to use it as well. And so she knew it worked. And, here we are a year later, maybe a year and a half later, and we have a full line of 10 products, and they each do something different. And literally what the product is a bioenergetic therapeutic. So in layman's terms, really all we're doing is we're using energy to affect our biology. Saline solution is the only ingredient which acts as a carrier delivering this healthy code, or these energy patterns and frequencies, which are the code, delivering that healthy code to your unhealthy cells. So all of the products are based in homeodynamics, or creating balance where the body is out of balance. And when we see a lot of these illnesses or diseases in the world, or even just as simple as a symptom, it's because something is out of balance. If everything was in balance, everybody would be functioning optimally, and there would be no need for products of any sort in the world. And really, part of what we're passionate about with this product is the ability to have a product with one ingredient that's literally safe for everyone, people of all ages, whether you're an infant, a child, an elderly person, and even for your pets, all sorts of animals, and including the equine community. So to have a product that is literally safe for everyone, and there are no side effects and there are no contraindications, and it just became a no-brainer really quickly that we had to get this out to the world. So here we are.
Very interesting. So the beginning was it was as a response to your own health issue. Then it developed to inspire you make this antivirus a product which can be accessible to many others. You are behind the science, and Wendy is behind the business.
Yes.
Brilliant. Very interesting. Uh, Actually, I want to talk about mindset and health challenges. And you know that mindset plays a crucial role in overcoming health challenges. How can people develop a positive mindset to navigate health challenges, specifically when they live with diabetes?
I think that mindset and really the art of managing the mind is the most important thing that we can focus on because it gives us the ability to navigate life. And part of that is really being clear with what you want and holding a very solid intention. And each day you take a step to get towards that intention of whatever it is you're looking to manifest. For me, it's this endless pursuit of optimizing my health. Every day I'm looking at how can I feel better? How can I feel stronger? How can I be a better person? How can I respond more and react less? How can I live from my heart and have coherence between my heart and my brain? And that's why I think that with mindset and even with code products, and I'll use an example, Calm. This is Calm. And Calm is really what we call our superhero. And this helps you manage your mind. It's pretty incredible, and the research that we've done has been very clear, indicating that what it does to the brain waves, increasing theta, increasing alpha, decreasing beta. Essentially, what that means is it's giving you a better ability to handle your stress. It's increasing your ability to hold attention and be focused. And it's decreasing that overactivity. And I think that's one of the first things that you can really do is cut out these external distractions. When you think about the mind, everything is cyclical, right? Everything is like we all say, oh, the circle came back around, or we completed the circle. It's that oneness. It's that circle of oneness, right? It's that never-ending flow between the heart and the mind. So this is why habits are also cyclical. Your thoughts repeat themselves every day. If you want change, you have to change your thoughts. And it's very challenging to change your thoughts when you're presented with a lot of conflict on a daily basis. And when you're also presented with a lot of distractions. I mean, think about how many hats we wear. We work, we're parents, we're spouses, we're siblings, we wear so many different hats even within those categories. So how do we manage all of these things? It's with intention. And it's one step at a time with clarity. And for me, Calm helps me have that. And actually, so do all of our products, but Calm is literally our superhero. So I think for a person with diabetes, the challenge is there's a lot of imbalance there. And you can't really turn over the whole tree at one time. So you do one thing at a time, turn over one leaf at a time until the whole tree, the whole human body is healthy, as healthy as it can be. And so we do that by making healthy choices, whether it's what we put in our mouth, whether it's what we put on our skin, whether it really starts with our thoughts. So when you realize that you're thinking a thought that doesn't serve your goal, then you have to change that thought. But the first step of that is recognizing that there was a dysfunction in the thought to begin with. Because otherwise nothing changes. That the whole saying, nothing changes if nothing changes, it's just true. You have to be the change. You have to do it. No one can do it for you. So that starts with the mindset of being intentional and just taking one step at a time.
When we talk about mindset, we say that you need to embrace the power of intentional living. And consistency is the key to achieving that long-term success and fulfilling life. You have to make every moment count with a clear mind and a purpose-driven approach. Really, when you think about it, the approach has to be purposeful. And if the approach is purposeful, then your journey can be an easy journey because you have that clarity. Our code products are really designed to support this journey by enhancing mental clarity, focus, and even just overall well-being. So when you integrate code into your daily routine, it can help you with your daily habits. And the daily habits are exercising regularly, eating well, or even just managing stress effectively, right? So when you have all of this and you stay consistent, it becomes more manageable.
Very interesting. Thank you for sharing a lot of information. I liked when you mentioned mindset gives us the ability to navigate life and challenges. And you mentioned as well, if we need to change our thoughts to change our life, or to have a sort of ability to manage challenges. And you said if there is no change, means no change, and a person has to be the change himself or herself. And when we deal with mindset, we need to do it with intention, clarity, and we try this strategy, which is one step at a time. When sometimes they say small steps lead to big results. Thank you for sharing that. Very interesting information. Let's talk about nutrition and weight management, which are essential components of diabetes management. What dietary principles do you recommend for people with type 2 diabetes, and how they effectively or can they effectively manage their weight while maintaining optimal health?
Yes. So again, coming back to habits, you have to change. You have to be willing to change these habits. And, I look small, but that's because of what I eat. If I eat out at restaurants and I eat what I want to eat all the time, I gain weight really, really quickly. So I'm constantly watching my weight. But more importantly, I've had to learn to read labels and look at what I'm putting in my body and be intentional with that. Processed foods are pounds. You buy a bag of something or a box of something at the grocery store, that equals pounds. Mm-hmm. So if you eat whole foods, if you're doing most of your grocery shopping in the produce section, and you're eating lean protein, grass-fed, that has not been given hormones or antibiotics, and you're eating healthy vegetables and fruits and nuts, you're doing a great job. But when you start adding things that come out of a box or a bag in all those other aisles, then you're really polluting yourself because there's a lot of hidden ingredients. And one of those things that I really feel strongly about are seed oils. Seed oils are actually toxic to the body. And if you look at even a box of healthy crackers or so-called healthy crackers, in the grocery store, I have yet to find a healthy cracker because everything has safflower seed or sunflower seed or canola oil, vegetable oils, and all of these things are really toxic to the human body. Even potato chips. I mean, I think We know that. I will say everybody wants a potato chip, and I'm not paid by Siete, but if I'm going to cheat on potato chips, it's going to be by Siete because they're made with avocado oil and there's no added ingredients. But having said that, you also have to look at the starches that turn to sugars in the body. And if I do eat pasta, because we have to have moderation, we have to have balance in our life. And so it's really important that if you're going to cheat with something, you do it in the healthiest way possible. So I eat chickpea pasta. I like it, and I use an organic red sauce that doesn't have added sugar. Going back to reading the labels, these are the things. If you're going to eat something that you didn't make fresh in the kitchen, just make sure there aren't seed oils. Just make sure there aren't added sugars. And make sure you can pronounce all the ingredients and make sure that you can identify them. Because the minute you can't identify what it is, you probably shouldn't eat it. And again, being intentional, you know, it's really the key. You know, every time I sit down and eat a meal, I thank all the people that took part in bringing that meal to my table, because I didn't do it. I didn't grow the vegetables. I didn't make it rain. I didn't make the sun shine. This is part of the collective of everything in existence, whatever you want to call it. I mean, to me, that is God, but you can call it whatever you like. And that wholeness, that oneness of everything. I have clients. If my clients didn't pay me for services, I wouldn't have money to buy the food. If I didn't have Publix or a grocery store down the street from me, I wouldn't have a place to buy it. So again, part of having that healthy mindset is being in gratitude for even the smallest minute things. I mean, right down to the shirt I wear. If somebody didn't grow this cotton with the sun and the rain and the moon and the stars and the people that picked the cotton and the truck drivers that distributed it, it's all part of this holistic mindset of saying, thank you. Thank you for everything that you did to help me get to where I'm at. And being intentional with the food that we eat and being in gratitude for the nourishment that it's providing our body. When you sit down and you eat recklessly, you're harming yourself. When you sit down and you take your time and you eat slowly, and if you're trying to lose weight, eat on a smaller plate. You know, eat these healthy things, eat on a smaller plate. Instead of eating a big bunch of dessert, eat a piece of fruit or a couple of dates, you know, dried fruit. Just small, minor changes will make the weight fall off. And for Code, we have another product that will support you with that, and that's Slim. Slim is our weight loss formula, and this product is pretty incredible. It comes from information. So when we talk about energy patterns and information that's infused or programmed into the saline solution in this formula, it comes from a keto-based powder. And normally you mix this keto-based powder with liquid, and you have to drink 16 to 18 ounces, and then you feel full. With Slim, it's one drop, and you get the same effect. And the beauty of Slim is that it also supports your mindset. You won't have the same cravings for sugar and starchy foods and fatty foods. So I recommend that anybody that does need to lose weight or wants to cut out these things that are unhealthy for them, they take a drop of Slim 30 minutes before each meal. Or if you get hungry in between meals and you're trying to reprogram your brain to not eat between meals, then you take an extra drop. Because it's saline solution with energy patterns in it, you can take it as often as needed, and it really is an individualized approach. For me, I never really need more than 3 drops in a day of Slim or even Calm for that matter. Each formula out of the 10, which this is really what we call our modern medicine cabinet, and each one has a different function, and you can just take any of them as you need it. But Slim is, and it's an incredible product for weight loss. So I definitely recommend that anyone trying to lose weight, give it a try.
Brilliant. Very interesting information. You have shared a lot of insights. You mentioned that we should read labels and understand what what in the package. Avoid processed food as we can. Focus on whole foods, lean proteins, specifically grass-fed meat, vegetables. Avoid seed oils, which are toxic, and we should avoid added sugar. We can eat some refined carbohydrates, but that should be not our regular food. And the last thing you mentioned as well, in terms of how to control or manage our weight, is to watch portion size. So you have shared a lot of tips and insights as well. This will lead us to the next point, which is about stress management, which is key for overall health and wellness, specifically for those managing health conditions like diabetes. Can you share some effective strategies for reducing stress and promoting emotional wellness in people with diabetes?
So just as we started this conversation with everything being a habit and being a mindset, you know, I start my day very specifically. I wake up, you know, I am normal. I go to the bathroom, brush my teeth, you know, do the basic stuff. And then I use a device that I meditate with. And I meditate for 15 minutes or so. I contemplate for about 15 minutes. And then I get out of bed and I go directly to my yoga mat and I start stretching. I stretch my body. I stretch for probably 30 minutes. And then I exercise using actually YouTube. So I'm not saying you need a gym membership, although if you have one, that's fantastic. If you're like Wendy and you like to be around a lot of people and, you know, do Zumba classes or, you know, go to a yoga class or go to the gym and use the, you know, the weights and all that, have a personal trainer, that's great. Those are good options. I like to do everything myself at home because I contemplate while I'm exercising, and I have other, you know, ways of starting my day in a way that I can kind of organize it step by step and say, okay, well, the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to meditate, I'm going to exercise. Then I'm going to go out to my kitchen. I drink athletic greens. I'm going to make my greens. I'm going to take my vitamins. I'm going to take my zinc. I'm going to take all my entire protocol of what my body requires to function optimally. And then I drink coffee that has adaptogens. So I drink a mushroom-based coffee. And then after that, I'm willing to sit down behind my computer and start checking my email. So nothing of my day starts before I have meditated and exercised, because if I don't take care of myself first, I don't have anything to give anybody else, and I'll be agitated and irritated. So I think everybody should have a process like that, you know, make time in the morning. And if you don't have a lot of time, find 5 minutes and just meditate or stretch your body. And while you're stretching your body, focus on your breath. because when you're breathing deeply, you're managing your stress. You're managing how your nervous system responds to whatever's happening in the world. And that's part of the stress response, is that we start breathing very shallow. And then that becomes the habit, and we don't even realize that we're doing it until we start breathing more deeply. And then we realize how much better we feel, how much our mind can slow down. Our thoughts literally can slow down as we practice breathing deeply. So these are the best tools, in my opinion, for managing stress, along with calm, like I told you in the beginning of the conversation as well. I take this daily. Why not take a product that's saline solution and telling my body, it's not really, it is telling my body how to be peaceful, but really it's giving me the experience of that. So when I take my drop of calm, I'm taking it with the intention that it's going to give me more clarity and help me focus. And so I take the drop of calm. It takes me about 15 minutes before I feel results, and I do feel results. And then I'm able to manage all the distractions, and I can produce more. I'm more productive in my work. I'm more productive around my house. I'm more productive in the way that I'm thinking because I can focus. I can't say it enough. We've done countless studies with this product using different devices, such as the BioWell gas discharge visualization device or the neural check device. We've even had EEG and brain mapping done with this device, with that device, and with Calm as the product that we're studying. And time after time after time, the results are clear what this product does, and it is life-changing. Anyone that's struggling not only with diabetes, but ADHD or anxiety, all of these things Calm can help with that. And using Calm, it gives you a way to make those little changes, and starts with daily habits. So how you go to bed at night, if you don't have time in the morning, then do it before you go to bed. I like to do a little bit in the morning because I feel like everybody needs to press that, reset button and start their day with a clear mind and having the ability to let go of anything that stressed them out the day before. And so you can go to sleep at night and you can meditate, you can stretch before you go to bed. Sometimes I stretch twice a day. It just depends. But all in all, I think for those managing stress, Calm is a solution that the whole world needs right now.
Very interesting. Thank you for sharing that. I would like to hear something from Wendy about that, and maybe she can share her morning routine.
Well, one of the things that Lisa specifically spoke about was about sleep disruption, right? Because stress can really interfere with sleep quality, and it affects the blood sugar regulation and the overall health. And here we're specifically talking about living with diabetes. And so in terms of stress, neither Lisa nor I have diabetes, but we do know that stress in general triggers the release of hormones, stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. And those hormones can increase the blood sugar levels, and it can release glucose from the liver, right? So stress is really such an important thing to be able to control. One of the things that it leads to is unhealthy coping, just overeating. You're consuming high sugar things because you want to feel good, right? So you go for those things that make you feel good. And so even on days that I'm not feeling so great, well, the first thing that you want to do is make yourself feel better. So how are you going to make yourself feel better? You're going to go reach in and, get a candy bar or something salty or something just that'll make, for the moment, momentarily, it'll make you feel good. But one of the other things that Lisa talked about and what you had specifically asked was, what do I do every day? Lisa is definitely much more of a regimented person than I am. And there are people that live very to the book and regimented in their ways of doing things. I'm not. I need a little more variety. So we're great in that aspect as partners as well, because when she does certain things, she does things in a certain way, and I'm always kind of squirreling. We call it squirreling, right? I squirrel to a different direction. But I find for me that as long as I'm doing something that puts a smile on my face, it changes the whole day around. So if there's something that's really triggering me or bothering me, I just try and think of something that makes me happy. And one of the things that it's my go-to is music and dancing. Again, Lisa does her exercise very privately. And for me, I need the more people, the merrier, right? So everybody is different in the way that they deal with life and they deal with stress. And everybody is different. Everybody is individual. So going back to your daily habits, you have to find what's right for you. But once you find what's right, really stick with it, because here we are, we're two women. Lisa, again, she always, I don't want to use the word hates, but she doesn't like when I say our age. We're in I'm in my mid 50s. Lisa's,
I'm younger.
and she's younger, right? She's the younger. But we have, with each year that goes by, I actually think we've become more healthy as the years go by. So that's something that you also have to understand, that whatever you did in the past doesn't it doesn't define who you are today. And we can always change and we can always become a better version of ourselves. And I think that's the key.
Brilliant. Thank you for sharing your experience and your thoughts about daily routine and stress management. Thank you for that. And you mentioned sleep, and sleep is very important. And when we talk about holistic health, we cannot neglect sleep, which is vital for overall health and diabetes management. My question around or about sleep is, how can people improve their sleep quality and establish a bedtime routine that can support their health goal?
A lot of times people want to just turn on the TV and watch all kinds of television shows that really do have an effect on us, whether we realize it or not. And because when you see other people, you relate to them on some level. And if you're watching, a violent television show right before bed, it's going to have an anxious feeling that you're going to go to bed with. So I would really suggest that, at least for those people that really feel like they need the television to go to sleep, that would be a really good habit to start working on breaking. And if you can at least turn it off 30 minutes before you go to sleep, just start small. Or if you watch something before going to bed, watch something educational, learn something. Instead of polluting your brain Give your brain food by learning something new. When we learn something new, new neural circuitry forms in our brain, and it opens up possibilities that we never even knew were possible. So I'm a lifelong student. I will always look for what I can learn every day. And I also watch TV. I don't watch the news, but I do watch TV. I don't necessarily have a hard time falling asleep, but for those people that do, one of the first things you can do is try deep breathing. This deep breathing that I've now mentioned a couple of times in terms of stress reduction, and now I'm mentioning it in terms of sleep. Just inhaling for 4 seconds, hold the breath for 2 seconds, and exhale out for 8 seconds. Just some breathing exercise that is just as simple as that, where that's all you're focusing on. Also helps to slow down the thoughts, calm down the mind, and it allows you to relax your body. And as you're breathing, relax your body. Like, intentionally relax your body. Let your toes relax. I like to work from the bottom up. Let your toes relax. Let your ankles relax. Let your calves, relax, and your thighs and your hips, and feel your hips settling into the bed, and keep breathing. And this exercise should be your daily habit if you struggle with going to sleep at night. And of course, we have a product for that. Dream is our sleep formula, and it really does help you fall asleep faster. With people that are really suffering from more severe insomnia issues, we tell them take Calm during the day and take Dream at night. And I actually keep this one by my bed because sometimes, especially when there are hormonal imbalances, if you wake up in the middle of the night, then you can take another drop and it'll, again, help you go back to sleep. I think the key, again, is in finding ways to de-stress and decompress. And Calm in combination with Dream are a huge solution for those that need just a little help, especially when you're changing a bad habit and creating a healthy one. And it does take about 40 days to break a habit. And it takes about 1,000 days before you really master a new habit. So it's really important, and we've stressed it over and over, just consistency and having the right tools and using those tools. Instead of freaking out, create a new response. And a freak out is more of a reaction. You just freak out, You get mad, you snap, you get edgy and agitated. But if you could, in that moment, feel the sensation of agitation coming up in the body and breathe through it and take a drop of calm, then you're able to change that habit of reacting and learn how to respond. And the more you do that, the easier you'll sleep at night. Because, like Wendy said, a lot of other things are going on with that stress response. So we have tools that we can use.
Yeah, it's interesting, especially since we've started this business. I wake up in the morning and Lisa wakes up in the morning, and I'm sure everybody that has a job to do, even if you're not going to work or you don't have an actual job, your job as a parent is a full-time job. You're worried about your children, you're worried about just your daily life. And so I think for me, I know it's going to sound crazy, but it's like my bed is this sanctuary of calmness and a place where I can fully relax and recharge. And I have that space where it's the only place where I try not to think about everything that's going on and on and on in my mind. Sometimes it's just, it's difficult. We're all human and we have a lot of things going on in our head, but it's that we need to find a place of calmness and serenity. I actually have a pre-bed routine. My husband has coined it my napetizer, and my napetizer is my pre-nap before my bedtime. I actually, on my couch, when my day ends and we finish eating and we sit down and we're on the couch together, that actually is more of my place of serenity. And I find that every time that I am on that couch, that's where I am the most calm and peaceful. And it becomes an appetizer. Sometimes my appetizers are 20 minutes, and I don't know, the other night I made it through 4 episodes of a new series that we were watching. So that's almost 4 hours that I landed that appetizer. But again, it's just find that place where you can shut yourself off. And my dad, who passed away 28 years ago, he said something to me that I live with, and he said, Wendy, at the end of the day, during nighttime, nothing changes. Nothing's going to change. So go to bed, put your head on the pillow, know that you did the best that you possibly could do. And if you didn't, then what you do is you wake up in the morning and you change it and you make a difference in the morning. But nothing's going to happen for those, call it 8 hours, right? And so take that time to really shut things off, recharge, and then start the day again.
Brilliant. Very helpful information and advice. You have shared a lot about sleep and how to improve sleep quality. Now we have some information about nutrition, weight management, stress, and sleep. But without healthy habits, managing diabetes becomes difficult or ineffective. So my question is, how people can make these tips, strategies, information as habits. And you mentioned earlier that one step at a time. But how can people establish healthy habits to support their wellness goals?
Really, just get clear. First, get clear on the goal. Okay. You can spend some time, you can close your eyes, and you can visualize yourself as if you've already achieved that goal. Because if you can think it and if you can dream it, you can do it. And it does take devotion, and it does take discipline, but you are worth it. And if you don't do it for yourself, nobody else will do it for you. You have the tools. We've shared several of them. Now you have to use them. Even if you don't use all of them all at once, just change one thing each day. Make one small improvement each day. Start by closing your eyes and meditating for 1 minute. It's okay if your thoughts flow. It's no problem. Just observe those thoughts and let them float by like clouds in the sky. Let go of any attachment to any outcome and just be in that moment. And I think teaching people to meditate is one of the best things people can learn to do for themselves. You know, if you can learn to meditate, you will definitely be able to navigate life easier. with more clarity, and with intentionality, and with poise, and with grace. So I think those are really the keys to, even without diabetes, just if you're a human, these are tools that we all need. Those of us that have medical issues, it becomes 10 times more important that you actually do it, because otherwise you won't be here to enjoy the things that you want to enjoy. Watch your grandkids grow up, play ball with them in the yard. Think about what gives your life purpose. Really, why are you living? Because you're living. So you have to have gratitude for that. If you can see, if you can hear, if you can walk and talk, if you have ever experienced love in your life at all, then you have a lot to be grateful for. Focus on that one day at a time. Focusing on getting your mind right. Focus on making little changes.
I think one of the things that Lisa said is really key, and you need to be clear. You need to set very clear goals, but it doesn't mean that you have to climb a mountain the first day. So just start small. You begin with very small changes. So for exercise, for instance, if you want to exercise more, start with a 10-minute walk each day. You don't have to do an hour on the treadmill. And I think what's also important is that you actually make a plan. If you create a plan that outlines what you are going to do to incorporate this new habit into your daily routine. And again, going back to what we talked about, consistency is the key to forming any new habit. The other thing that's really good to do is track your progress. Keep a journal of the progress that you're making, because sometimes you don't even see the progress that you're making because you're looking at yourself or you're seeing yourself every day. And sometimes when someone sees you for the first time in a long time, they're shocked at the differences that they see. You might not see it, or even maybe your spouse or your children or someone living with you might not see it because they see it every single day. But when you are away from it and then look at someone that has made strides, it's amazing. And the other thing is, I guess two more things. One, don't forget to honor and celebrate each one of these successes, because you can work really, really hard on something and you have to treat yourself in whatever way it is, because you should be proud of yourself that you are making these changes and you are making these differences. It's tough. It's not easy. And the other one is, don't be too hard on yourself, right? Be patient. Things just don't happen overnight. And especially as we get older, it's really more difficult to see the changes that we used to be able to see when we were younger. When we were younger, we can change something and you see immediate gratification, right? And now it's just not as easy. So be patient with everything. Everything takes time.
So what Wendy is saying is a phrase that I like to use all the time. And aside from love yourself first, it's measure what you treasure.
Yeah.
Doing this journal gives you the ability to treasure yourself and measure what you treasure, which is your health. And so with each thing that you accomplish, hold gratitude and be grateful for yourself. Yes, of course, be grateful for others, but be grateful for yourself. That's part of loving yourself. Grateful that you've been given the gifts to be able to do what you do every day and get stronger every day doing it.
Brilliant. Very interesting information, and thank you for sharing these great insights. Is there anything you want to touch about holistic approaches when it comes to health and wellness?
I think the most holistic approach that, you can have is everything. It encompasses everything that we've discussed. Everything that we've discussed here, from what you put in your mouth, diet, nutrition, managing stress, exercising, getting a good night's sleep. That's it. I mean, that's the foundation of what you do. And we just have a product line that supports that. Our mission is literally to support your health naturally. And we do it with simple saline solution programmed with energy patterns. So, if you have, let's call it an allergy, we have a formula for that. That is more holistic than taking something that's over the counter that ultimately creates other imbalances in the body. So really utilizing products like, like Code, which is, we call this the modern medicine cabinet, because it is modern and it is an alternative to some of the other things that we've traditionally used that are not holistic and that literally create other imbalances in the body. So utilizing and incorporating different products that are safe, non-toxic, drug-free, and therapeutic that really work, I think just is the icing on the cake to having a healthy lifestyle.
Brilliant. Thank you for sharing that as well. I have got another question before we finish this episode. What inspiring message or advice would you like to leave with our viewers and listeners, specifically those who are struggling with their health condition?
You got this. You just have to do it. And set your intention on where you need balance in your life and get it. See it as if it's already happened and take one step each day to get there. And you can do it. You can do anything. If somebody ever told you that you cannot do it or you are not worthy, they were wrong. They lied to you. The important thing is not to lie to yourself. Look yourself in the mirror and practice loving yourself. Practice becoming a better version of yourself. Practice optimizing your health. These things are a daily practice. It's not, if you've never done jumping jacks, maybe start slow. If you can't reach your toes right now, it's okay. Reach for your knees. Reach for your shins. You meet life where you're at and you grow from there. And the formula for that growth is having an intention and putting forth the effort. And then, of course, there is the element of divine grace that comes in when your intention is there and your effort is there, and the divine grace comes in, and before you know it, you've manifested this outcome, or you've grown in ways you never imagined possible, and you can do it.
Wendy?
Well, I think the message that I would like to convey is just find balance in your life with everything. And when you have balance and moderation, those two things are the most important. I don't think, at least for me and my experiences, nothing is good when it's done in extremes. And so just take each day as it comes and also find something positive in everything that you do. And not everything is going to be positive, but if you can find something good that can come out of something bad, then you've learned from that bad experience. And Lisa and I were just talking about this with someone, and I keep on saying it, everything that we are doing today is because of maybe all of the mistakes that we've made in the past. And so if we learn from those mistakes of the past and we become better versions of ourselves because of those mistakes, then we're able to move forward in a different approach, with a different approach, in a different way. So like I said before, who you are or who you were back then or even yesterday doesn't define who you are today. And we all have a chance to start all over again. And I keep on talking about my dad. I don't know, he's been on my mind today. But another thing that my father used to say is, I used to get so upset when I would make a mistake, when I would be home and I was a child and I was doing my homework, and he would just look at me and he would say, Wendy, that's why they make erasers on pencils, because you can erase your mistakes and just rewrite it. So that's really what I'd like to say. Just be the best person that you can possibly be. Do the best that you can. And no one can say anything when you're trying your best.
Brilliant. Thank you for sharing your great, inspiring message. Meet your life where you are and grow from there. And balance is key. Thank you for sharing this great, inspiring message. How can people find you if they want to get in touch with you or learn more about you and what you do?
You can visit our website. It's www.codehealthshop.com. We are also on social media, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, all those things. And we are at Code Health Shop. On LinkedIn, we are at Code Health.
Brilliant. Thank you for sharing your contact information. Have you got anything else you want to share before we wrap up this episode?
I just want to thank you for having us. We enjoyed our conscious conversation today, and we love any opportunity to help people.
Brilliant.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Lisa and Wendy. Now we have come to the end of this episode, and I would like to express my sincere gratitude to our amazing guests, Dr. Lisa and Wendy, for generously sharing their expertise, insights, and time with us today. I also want to thank all of you, our dedicated viewers and listeners, for being a part of this episode. If you need additional guidance and support, you can book a call with me at wellnessimpact.org. If you found today's episode insightful and valuable, I invite you to join our community of people committed to thriving with diabetes. To stay up to date for upcoming episodes, empowering discussions, and practical tips, make sure to subscribe and follow us. Once again, thank you, Dr. Lisa and Wendy, for being our guest today. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on this impactful journey. Until next time, take care of your health and keep thriving.